An extremely special event is going to be witnessed today by all of us, and I have the privilege of introducing this person. This person is a writer, entrepreneur, and a youth expert. She is the author of 5 best-selling books on entrepreneurship. Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish, Connect the Dots, I Have a Dream, Poor Little Rich Slum, and Follow Every Rainbow. Over 1 million copies of her books are in print and have been translated in over 10 languages. Today, she is going to be talking to us. She is going to be launching her new book called Take Me Home. And that's not all. There is also going to be a very special book signing ceremony after the Eureka Awards and other awards right here in this room on the stage. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Miss Rashmi Bansal.
It's wonderful to be here today in a room full of so many people who want to start a company of their own. Am I right? Yes. So I decided to launch my new book here rather than in a bookstore because I think this is a place where so many of you are looking for ideas and inspiration. And this new book, it's called Take Me Home. It's my 6th book. It's about entrepreneurs from the smaller towns of India. How many of you are from smaller towns of India? How many of you have come to attend this session? Where are you from? Can anybody tell me? Where? Ayodhya, Dehradun, Jabalpur, Nagpur, Indore. So where are you guys going to start your business? Are you going to come to Bombay, Bangalore, Chennai, or are you going to start it from where you are? From where you are. Okay. So it's wonderful to know that. I must tell you that writing this book has been an amazing experience for me. It took me 3 years because I went to 18 cities in India, leaving aside the metro cities of, which we all know about. So there's a famous song by John Denver, Country Roads Take Me Home to the Place I Belong. And that's why I've chosen this title. And the whole idea is that, look, today you can start a business wherever you are. You don't have to have a particular profile, location, or, it's not a constraint. I have lived my entire life in Bombay. I've gone to school and college here, but I was also born in a small town called Ratlam. I don't know if anybody has heard of Ratlam. Yeah, it's become a bit famous now because it was featured in a movie called Jab We Met. Ratlam Save also. These are the only 2 reasons. So I was born there, and for a long time I felt a bit funny, लोगों को बताने को कि मैं रतलाम में मेरा जन्म हुआ है, because all the children in my school and even my brother, they're all born in Bombay, and to tell them no, it's in Madhya Pradesh and so on and so forth. So I think for a long time, many of us have thought that, okay, being from a small town means that maybe we have less opportunities or less exposure. But the world has changed, and this is what I found, that in this book, I have actually met amazing people who are doing business of a certain size and scale, which is having a national and international impact from their towns. And I'm just going to share very briefly 3 stories with you from this book, just to give you a sense of what kind of stories are there. First of all, the first set of entrepreneurs I featured, I've called them sons of the soil because they are from the place that they are born and they have not really gone out. They have studied there, they have lived there, they have worked there, they have started a company there, and they have grown the company. So they've not gone out of their city and got exposure, but somehow their mind was able to expand and they were able to do something which people believe is not possible in their town. So here is a company which I'm sure nobody has heard about in this room. It's called Jyoti CNC. It's based in Rajkot and it's India's largest machine tool manufacturer. Do you all know what are machine tools? So machine tools, it's basically a technical engineering product. There are hundreds of machine tool companies in India, but they're all small. This guy is the largest guy, and he started in 1989. Okay? So which engineering college do you think he must be from? What? Saurashtra. What? He didn't do engineering. Yeah, actually, well, the thing is, he's actually a 12th out. He has never done engineering. In fact, he dropped out of school to play chess. He wanted to be a sportsman. But after 3-4 years, he realized his family cannot afford this kind of, what should I call it? They cannot support his passion. So he decided the only thing to do is I can start a business because now no one's going to give me a job. Abhi 12th dropout ko job dega. So in 9th and 10th class, he had actually studied how to use a lathe machine in his school. So he decided to start doing some, because there are a lot of companies in Rajkot, which are manufacturing. So he got some job work. And after working very hard in about 15 years, he had actually built up a small company of 7 crores. But in the next 10 years, he's done some phenomenal growth and he's now a 1,000 crore company. So that is the story that is featured in this book of how a person can go from 7 crores to 1,000 crores in 10 years' time. And I think when you read the story, you understand that a lot of it depends on what you think and believe. Apart from whatever may be happening around you, whether you have funding, whether you have support, ecosystem, all this stuff we talk about in e-summits, I don't think anything is there in Rajkot in that sense, that what things we're talking about here. So I think that, if I had to just summarize his attitude, when he was a very young man, his uncle actually asked him to go and buy some aprons. Aprons are a kind of it's a part used in manufacturing of lathes from a local manufacturer, and he had a fight with him. And he said, no, I'll make it myself. And uncle said, no, you can't do it. It's a very difficult job. You will not be able to do it. But he took it as a challenge. He, opened up the gearbox. He studied it. He did trial and error. And within 1 month, he was able to start making aprons. So the point is that, if you set your mind to do something, you can do it. You don't have to have the engineering qualification, technical training. Of course, you have to work very hard. You have to be, very open-minded and very flexible, innovative person. But for that, you don't need a degree or a background, and you can be in Rajkot, you can be anywhere. So I want to tell you that we all talk about companies like Tata's, buying Jaguar in UK, but this company in Rajkot has bought a company in France called Huron, okay? And this is what he said, that, when I bought the company and I was the first day that I took over, when I entered, the Indian tricolor was flying on the top of the factory in Paris. And that was, for me, the biggest achievement. So it's not just the, that I have earned this much revenue, I have earned this much profit, I have these many customers. There are a lot of things that people like Parakram Singh Jadeja are doing, which are building national pride. They're building India in foreign countries. And I think these are the kind of people I've tried to bring into my book, who are really doing their work very silently and wonderfully, but probably they're not being featured in the front pages. And it's not important to them either. But if you read the story of his life, you can get a lot of learnings for your own life. The second kind of entrepreneurs I've featured are those, who went from the smaller towns to study outside, either in the bigger cities or they went abroad. But after some years, they decided to go back to their native place. So many of you might be in this category, I think. You might have come to study in a bigger town. Have you all left? Anyone has left home to study outside? Okay, all of you are studying outside. So do you all want to go back home someday? But will you get a job over there? No. So most people don't get a job, so they can never go back. After getting qualified and, with MBA or MTech or, any other good qualification, you want to work in a professional company, you want to have a good working atmosphere, work with, good clients, work with on good projects. And most likely these opportunities are not available in your hometown. So one of the people featured in this book, he's a guy like this, okay? He is from Belgaum in Karnataka. Anybody here from Belgaum? Okay, so there are two of you. Yeah. And he went to US, he had a very good job there, but one day he decided to come back to India. He's a mechanical engineer from KLE Institute of Technology in Belgaum, okay? And he was inspired by Dr. Abdul Kalam, who said that, how much ever money you earn in a foreign country, ultimately, you're not making any contribution to your homeland. So that was one of the reasons. There were other reasons, but this was one of the big factors. He decided to come back to Belgaum and set up a business in an area called as servo controls. Do you know what are servo controls? Okay, some people know, but I've explained it in the book. Basically, it's something that's commonly used in almost anything that we use, whether it's a car, a plane, a factory, it's a kind of a, a technical part. And it's a very high precision, high technology kind of a business. Now, Deepak Dhadoti is, maybe he's 33 years old, and it requires $10 million to set up a plant, a servo control plant, and he doesn't have $10 million. So how does he start? He first finds a customer who gives him a whole barrel full of defective valves. He says, can you start repairing these valves for me? So there was a Hindustan Aeronautics factory manager who said that, look, I have all these valves, they're very expensive, I have to send them abroad for servicing. Can you service it and, get them working, because they're very crucial, because if the servo control is not working, the entire big machine of 50 crores might stop functioning. So this is how he entered the business. He built a name for himself, and today it's a 100 crore company which is doing amazing kind of work, which is supplying to aerospace, defense, and doing kind of things which people thought are not possible in India. So one thing I found quite interesting is this person said that my final engineering project set the foundation of my life. Do you think this is something most engineers say? No. Some people have bought the engineering project from Lamington Road also. In Mumbai University it happens. Okay. So this boy, I wouldn't call him a boy anymore, but when he was in college, he did a project on hydraulics. And he did it with a lot of passion and dedication, and his first job, in fact, he got because of his engineering project. And further on, whatever he's done in life, it set the foundation for it. So, some of you who are in college, you get to do projects and then you treat it very lightly. I just have to submit it and pass. I have to get my grades and move on. But it need not be that. If you're looking for some idea of, all of you say you want to start a business. It might start as a project, right? And again, if you look at his ambition, he says that, one day I want to actually build an entire unmanned aerial vehicle in my factory. So this kind of work is not happening in India today. We actually buy these kind of equipments from foreign countries. But that's his next goal. So this is the kind of thing that people are doing in a city like Belgaum. Okay, now the third category, I've named it as someone like you. How many of you want to go to IIM and do MBA? Okay, very few people. I'm happy to see that. Most of the, Achha, okay. Because most of the places, everybody wants to complete their existing degree and go to IIM and get an MBA, right? So we have one person of this profile who's actually done that. He's an IIT Bombay graduate, 2003 batch. Then he did his MBA from IIM Bangalore. And he was working in a big consulting company, which is the dream of most people, who join MBA. However, so 2003 went to IIT, 2005 IIM, and 2007 he took a totally different path. He decided to go back to his hometown of Meerut, where his father had a small business set up about 25 years back. It was a very small business of 1 crore. And he said, I want to take it over and I want to do something with it. And at that time, in fact, he had emailed me, we were in touch, and he said, people are saying I'm mad, and I feel that
I can do something with this business. And I recently met him about 6 months ago, and now today, in 7 years, he has grown this business from 1 crore to 25 crores, okay? By applying the kind of education he had, the kind of exposure he had, his experience in consulting, so he could apply the kind of professional management and, strategies which normally are not used in such small companies. And basically says that, look, I used to read about other people doing it, and then I thought I'd rather have my own company, do something of my own, rather than just keep reading about other people. You know, when I'm in a consulting company, I'll always be giving advice. I won't be actually doing anything. And, a lot of us think that public sector companies are not good to work with, but this entrepreneur had a very different experience. In fact, IOCL and companies like that have helped him to grow. He got a very, very large order of 40 crores from a company like IOCL without giving even 1 rupee in bribe. We always think public sector asks for bribe, but he says it's not the case. So, to sum it up, there are 3 things that you need, I think. This is a common theme running across all my books. You need passion, you need commitment, and you need a little bit of innovation, flexibility. You can call it as jugaad. So, but in a nice way. I don't mean the jugaad where we try to do things which are illegal or, unsavory. And I really think small towns are the future, because those of us who live in Bombay know that in the last 30 years what has happened. If it used to take half an hour to go from one place to the other, it's now taking 1.5 hours, 2 hours. If everybody starts migrating to bigger cities, the situation is going to get worse. The quality of life is deteriorating. Today, if you want to start a business in Bombay, you have to, shell out a lot of money to just have one handkerchief-size office. Anybody who comes to work for you will say, I want 15,000 salary starting, 20,000, 25,000. So there is a cost advantage of working in a smaller town. There is, this advantage of having people like you, because every town has got educated people coming out of it. They want to work in their hometowns today. There is an emotional attachment they have. So once they join you, they are loyal to you, they stick with you. And I think because of technology today with internet and, cell phones and air connectivity, it is like the world has become a much smaller place. So, even if I'm sitting in any town of India, I can probably be connected in the same way as in Bombay. So these are the cities featured in this book. Now I'm going to just actually launch the book, means actually physically unveil it. So I just want to know, are there people from these cities in the audience? If so, maybe one representative can come up from each city and we can all unveil the book together. Okay. Okay, look, I cannot, I'll make it voluntary. So one person from each city can come up, introduce themselves, and, okay, Jaipur is here. Nagpur is here. Indore, okay. Belgaum, okay. Cochin, okay, fine. Okay, okay. Acha, theek hai. Okay, let's all. Okay. Great. Okay, let's just do it in a way so all of us are visible and. Please. Okay. Yeah. Huh? Okay. Here I'll get one girl and one boy. Actually, we didn't wrap so many books, but then now on behalf of all of you, we can.
For an old man like
Huh?
Old man like me.
अच्छा आप ले लीजिए हाँ ठीक है okay ठीक है let's just you just unveil the book yeah. Okay, when I write part 2 of the book, then I want some people from here to be present. Like part 2 will come out after 5 years. So I'm giving you 5 years time to actually start something and then, That's what I'm saying, that I'm giving you all 5 years to go back to your hometown, start a business, and then we'll come back here to the same place in E-Summit 2019, and then we'll unveil Take Me Home Part 2. So,
At least for part 2 I will do it.
yeah, okay. Okay, thank you so much. It was lovely. I wasn't expecting so many of you. I thought 2-3 honge shayad audience mein. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do that later after the. I'll do it after the session. Yeah, I'll just finish this. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Oh, are you? You are his nephew? Oh, that's wonderful. But okay, it's a really small world actually. I must say. Yeah. What's your name?
Akshay.
Akshay. Okay. Akshay what? Uh-huh. Yeah. We have in our audience one person whose father has helped Parakram Singh Jadeja a great deal. You know, he's happens to be here. I think the world is very small, I must say. That's Akshay. So anyways, this is the entire collection of books which I call as the Inspiring Indian Entrepreneur Series. And I just want to leave you with this thought that what difference can I make? Of course, luckily we are here in a place where all of you are here because you really want to do something with your life. So I don't think I need to brainwash you any further on this point. I just want to tell you a little bit about my new e-publishing venture. I basically have decided to try and discover and promote new authors because a lot of you who want to write books sometimes struggle to get published. So I've started this new venture, and anybody in the audience who is writing a book and would like to be part of it can be in touch with me. These are my various contact points. So thank you so much once again. It was a wonderful experience to be here, and especially because so many of you have got the same ambition as the people who I've featured in this book, Take Me Home. So do share it with your friends and batchmates who maybe want to do something too. And if you want to feel proud about your hometown. Thank you very much.